Welcome everybody! How we doing? Brand new additions to the studio. New mic, new camera, new everything. And it's all thanks to you. Thank you so much for everything. This is exactly where the donos go. Right back to producing quality content. Right back to making you have a better experience with me. I appreciate it. It's great. Studio set up, state of the art. I am looking like a pro. Sounding like a pro. I love it. And speaking of pros, did we have pros at the top of their game today? I caught not one, but two Mike Pages. The second Mike Page, I think, is going to be the main event. He catches a guy, hook, line, and sinker. It is great. What's up, Darkova from day one? What up? How we doing? I see a lot of new people trickling in. I appreciate it. My the videos I've created, the comments are great. I appreciate everything. I'm just gonna keep producing it. It's so much fun. I love that you enjoy it. And let's get going. Mike Page number 1. Oh, and absolute pandemonium in Webster's today. Hysterical. Got that. Got a TP. Oh no. Oh, we got a good Tuesday. Let's get going, people. And all the newbies, if you have anything, you have a question, you need to join the Discord. My mods are the best. This is the best community in LawTube. Let's roll.
7. Ashley Babcock and Randy Austin both are here. Mr. Austin in person, Ms. Babcock on Zoom. And this is a date and time set for hearing on Mr. Austin's motion. Both raise your right hands. You both swear or affirm any testimony given this cause to be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. And Mr. Austin, you filed a motion regarding support?
We got pro se,
All right,
Stephen.
we'll let you to file the motion.
I just added another case with 3 other children. Point being, I'm not filing a motion to like get out of support or nothing like that. I was mainly with checks or whatever I get, pretty much just paying for gas just to go back and forth to work. I have literally next to nothing in my pocket. I'm just looking probably to deduct it by $100 is all I'm asking.
All right. Ms. Hummel, when was support last run?
A year ago.
All right. Now, you said you have three children.
Well, I
So
have.
you would be given credit for those children when support.
No, I
was
understand
run.
that, but I'm just asking because this is over
Welcome,
$500.
Tina.
I pay a month on one child, 200 on another one, and I pay 2 something for 3. And I'm just asking for $100 deducted so I can have some leeway, something. Not trying to get out of nothing, just that's what I'm asking. But I have to do it through you guys, it's the only legal way.
Okay. And Ms. Hummel, what's support currently billing at in this case?
436 child support, 23 medical support. He does have an arrearage. It was $1,039.95. Last time received a payment was March 29th, 2023. So he's looking at enforcement again, actually on all 3 cases.
All right. So you said this was billing over 500 a month, but it's not. It's 459.
Okay, close to 5. Either way,
You wanted to reduce it by 100, so it's already.
that's what I'm
reduced.
asking for.
It's already reduced $50 from what you thought it was.
All right. I don't know what you want me to say on that one.
If it was just run a year ago, has your income changed in that year?
What up, Toby?
This almost said support was just calculated in this case a year ago.
Change in a year?
No, it was just recalculated a year ago.
What up,
Has your
bitch?
income changed since the
Oh,
support
yeah,
was,
definitely,
your income has changed?
definitely.
Oh, where are you working now?
Next to nothing, I start work, next week, on Monday.
Next to nothing is the name of the,
Well, I don't have nothing, I'm not making nothing right now. A year
Right.
ago when the support changed, is actually when I had my accident with my Yukon. And I ended up losing my job then. And yeah,
Where were you working then?
I was working for utilities.
Wexler. OG.
How much were you making there?
I was making, remember, I was making 14, I think it was, start out.
14 an hour?
Yeah, I had to drive back and forth all the way to Holland. They were giving me $20 a day for gas for that.
Name of the company was called Utilities?
Utilities, yes.
You're not working at all right now?
No, not currently until next week, Monday. I start Nuevo Magnum
What do you make the next?
I gotta look at my paperwork. I think 15 and some change. But then again, like I said, I'm not for sure. I know it's in my contract thing that they gave me.
Oh, okay.
I still gotta read it.
Oh, this guy
Okay, then I'll
sucks.
recalculate it again.
And how long have you been off work?
Off work, yeah, when she said about March.
He is Trevor.
Oh, just a couple months?
Just
Yes.
wait to the other one.
You were working for Utilities up until March?
Yeah, I couldn't do it anymore because 2-hour drive and
Right.
gas prices and yeah.
Oh,
When was your accident?
My accident was last year.
Do what?
Where were you working?
It was 3 days
Uh-oh.
before the hearing.
she's getting pissed. She's chomping at the bit. Ashley's ready. Look at her friend. Oh, he's killing you, girl. He's lying.
Here for the change of sport.
Oh, okay. Where were you working then?
There I was GM. Woods out here in Nuevo.
What were you making there?
I was making 14. And we all got laid off and never got called back. A lot of people didn't.
I have reported income to the state of Michigan through Workbox for this first quarter of 2023, last quarter of 2024. It wasn't for very much per month. Also at Michigan Produce Haulers for, looks like less than a week in the last quarter of 2022. He has only one quarter listed for utility contracting. The third quarter of 2022, prior to that was Magna, where he had about a year and a half at
He's a scumbag, but he still looks good in that tank top.
Magna. That's what he was set at using the income.
He wore that knowing she'd take it easy on him.
And that was at approximately $19.48 an hour. And that's what was used in the last calculation.
Oh, so you're making 1948 an hour there.
Yeah, I ended up getting a better position after a year, or a little less than a year.
Oh, I thought.
What a
I got different
peach.
positions you can fill out for.
So now you're gonna take a lesser position there?
Well, my position that I was currently at for the 19, that's not open right now. Somebody else has got that position.
Oh,
Hopefully I can get back to that position.
so you worked there for a year and a half?
Yes, sir.
Oh, why'd you leave that job?
I was cutting
Thank you,
kindling,
Chris.
in my back room in that wood room. And my son, I don't know, kind of came up behind me and kind of startled me when I was full swing with a hatchet.
What?
And I got my knee. And yeah,
It was like you.
Oh,
but they wouldn't let me take my short term. I had a bunch of time that I could take off, but they wouldn't let me do it. But I had no
Agreed,
choice
bad back.
because,
I don't know where the
couldn't
med.
walk. Couldn't do my job.
All right. Ms. Babcock, sounds like you're itching to say something. What do you want to say?
Your Honor, I'm sorry. Excuse my language, but I am sick of this shit. He literally just lies and lies and lies. He is constantly finding some sort of way to not like be responsible for the children he keeps making. He can't hold a job, but yet he keeps having kids over and over and over again. The cases that he's even talking about having on with the girl that's sitting in there with him right now, they all live in the same home together. So how is their support supposedly started on them? That's my first question. The accident that he's talking about happened years and years ago. So I'd like to see the medical paperwork for that one if he's going to use that as an excuse. And I'm just tired of it. I literally just got support going not even a year ago, barely. And he literally quit his job so he can come in here and try to pull this crap saying, oh, I'm not working and oh, this and that. That way it would run that he doesn't have no money. Like, honestly, it's exhausting. I raised my daughter by myself. Like, I don't think $400 even is crap. It cost me way more to raise my daughter. And he wants to complain about that little bit of money when it really don't do jack. So honestly, I'm tired of it. I don't want it changed. If anything, I'd want more. So I really hope that you guys can kind of see through his bull crap at this point, because I'm tired of it.
Get him, Ashley.
All right. Ms. Hummel, do you have any of the numbers necessary to run support at this time?
I did run support based on that wage that he was making, that he has 4 additional children. I have Miss Babcock at minimum wage, 40 hours a week. I don't believe she has or is not listing that she has a job at this point in time. At least that's been reported. And she has, I believe.
She's literally at her under the table job now. She's in her basement doing manicures or hair. She has pink gloves on and her friends at the table. So, but he's a dirtbag, period.
She has 2 other children, 0 overnights.
Let's just have more.
To the defendant. And the calculation comes out to still at $420.
I don't get it. They work minimum wage, even if they're working under the table. She has 3 kids. How do you support your children? I don't get it. I have a very good job. 3 jobs. And I'm still like, ugh. And I have 1 kid. I don't get it. These people. And yeah, you get money from the government and all that good stuff, but you still don't get enough.
1 child support, 23
Horrible.
medical support for a total of $444, which is just $15 less a month than what it's currently set at. Also, as stated, there's not been payment since
Darkova.
March. We do have money on hold that's to be dispersed back to the defendant, and we need his permission to release that and be applied to his account.
I know. It's the government money. I know it's
So,
awful,
sir,
but it's still not enough.
The law doesn't recommend support changes if it's less than 10% or $25, and the recommended change here is only $15.
Okay.
So the motion, I guess, the motion to modify support would be denied. I guess there's some money on hold that was left over from a tax intercept.
Yeah, I got a phone call and I talked to them about it.
Yeah, do you mind if that goes towards your arrears?
Yeah.
That's okay. All right. So the motion to change support to be denied for the reason I stated doesn't meet the threshold for modification. And the, I guess the amount that's left over from the tax intercept, Ms. Hummel, what would be equitable? I know Mr. Austin has a couple of cases as far as dispersing that over the cases. Does he have arrears on all of his cases?
He does. I will have to check with.
You know what's cheaper than child support? Prophylactics and a vasectomy, one-time charge.
Heather, because when money's intercepted for a specific 4D, I'm unsure if it has to go to that specific 4D or if it can be split.
Okay, we are going to go to the pandemonium that is Judge Webster today. And we've seen this defendant before in her court, but today he just took over. It is pandemonium. Let's roll.
We will now take up Gumfrey, 2023 TR 392, stated
Look at this lineup. Take your pick. We got Honey Boo Boo, Dirty Jessup in the back corner, Forrest Gump's uncle at the top, poor Missy in the middle, Miss Gillette. I mean, poor Miss Gillette. She's the middle square. Look at that lineup. And a man in his trailer doorway. Judge Webster has it rough today. Let's roll.
Kansas versus David Dwayne.
So it keeps kicking him off, but he is still trying to work on getting the internet. But he wanted Zach Wallet.
Well, Zach.
All right, Missy, I'm hearing.
Yeah, they like I can see them and everything.
I can see
Can
you.
Like
hear
I see
you.
Judge Webster and everything, but I can't hear a whole lot at the moment.
What?
I can
They like I can see
I
them
can
and
see
everything.
you. I can see
Can
you.
Like
hear
I see
you.
Judge Webster and everything, but I can't hear a whole lot at the moment.
I can hear him fine.
Yeah,
Missy, is there any
Yeah,
way we could?
but
turn-
my internet just keeps going in
I've
and out,
muted
and I
him 3
keep
times
getting
and it keeps
disconnected.
unmuting.
All right, Mr. Is it Wallace? I'm trying to have other folks' hearings and you keep interrupting them. All right, is it Gumfrey or Gumfrey? Gumfrey? All right, Miss Jill Gillette appears for the state and Mr.
Webster.
Gumfrey appears in person and pro se. Again, this is.
It keeps saying unmute, and then the host mutes me. It says
Sir, the reason we're doing that is because you're giving
the
up
host
somebody else's hearing.
is the one muting me.
Mr. Wallace, it's because you keep interrupting other people's hearings. We're making a record of other people's hearings and you keep talking. All right, I'm sorry, Mr. Gumfrey. Again, this is 2023 TR 392, State of Kansas versus David Dwayne Gumfrey. Sir, you're here on one count of driving while suspended. The state is alleging that on or about May 16th of 2023, you were unlawfully operating a motor vehicle in Greenwood County, Kansas. It being unlawful because your driving privilege at the time allegedly was canceled, suspended, or revoked. Are you following me, Mr. Gumfrey?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this is called a Class B non-person misdemeanor. That means that if you were to be convicted of this charge, you could get a sentence up to 6 months maximum in the county jail, and you could get a fine up to $1,000. Now, the law says your fine would have to be at least $100, but it could be up to $1,000. You do have the right to an attorney. Will you be hiring an attorney, or do you need to apply for court-appointed attorney? Or do you want to waive your right to attorney and represent yourself?
I need court appointed, ma'am.
Okay, I'll have to ask you some questions to see if you qualify. Do you have a job at this time?
No, ma'am.
How long have you been without work?
Oh, several years.
And how are you getting by? Who's supporting you?
I stay with some friends, just get by. Need to be put in my disability.
Okay, you do have disability or you put in for it?
No, I need to be putting it in.
I see. All right, well, I will appoint an attorney. It will be Shannon Cooper, and she has a business card there that the officer can help you get. And we will give you a court date. Missy, when will that be?
Let's set this for July 7th at 10 o'clock.
July 7 at 10?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Gumfrey, you'll need to be back here July 7th at 10 o'clock by Zoom. And you are certainly welcome to come to the courthouse. At least that way we know that we'll be able to hear each other and see each other, and we'll do fine. So I'll need you back here July 7th at 10 o'clock with your attorney, and be sure and call Miss Cooper and try to talk to her about your case before that date. And then let's see, we need to talk about bond. Did you make a bond in this case? It doesn't look
Yes,
like
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
you did.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, it hasn't made its way into the court file. Miss Gillette, do you have a copy of that by chance? You're muted, Miss Gillette.
I do have a copy, Judge.
All right, I will continue that bond, Mr. Gumphrey, with the added condition that you next appear again, July 7 at 10, and that you contact your attorney and be ready to go at that time.
All right.
All right, anything further, Mr. Gumphrey, before I let you go?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Gillette, anything further from the state?
I don't think so, Judge. Thank you.
Thank
Does he need
you.
a court-appointed attorney sheet?
He needs a card, one of those
Zach's
blue
back.
cards of Shannon Cooper's.
Jojo.
Okay,
And if you don't mind putting his court date on there on the back of it as well, that would probably be helpful.
July 7th?
Yeah.
Yes, July 7 at 10.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you both. All right, we
Don't
will be
go
in recess on
far.
Gumfrey.
Thank you for the dono.
Deputy, do you have anyone there in the facility that we need to take up?
I've got 3, ma'am.
Are you ready for them now?
Memberships.
I've got 2 ready to go.
Jojo.
All right, which one would you
Rolling
like to
them up.
do first?
You tell me and I'll get her over here.
What are my options? Or who are my options?
Knock and Russell. Stewart, I'm sorry. Knock and Stewart.
Knock and Stewart, is that knock with the K?
Yes.
All right. Well, I see her. Let's take up her case.
Oh boy.
We are on the record in case number 2022 CR 118, State of Kansas versus Catherine Lanola Knock. Is it Knock or Knock?
It's knock
Knock, okay.
on the door.
I think
On
you've
the
told me that.
door.
All right, so Miss Gillette appears for the state and Miss Knock appears in person. We were here April 6th, 2023. We were supposed to have sentencing, but you failed to appear, Miss Knock. Your attorney, Mr. Pate, was not here, but his partner, Mr. Paul, was on your behalf. They did ask for a continuance, but that was denied and the bench warrant was entered with a no bond hold. And it looks like this case has got some age to it. It's been going on, first appearance was back August 30th. So where were you the last time you were supposed to be here for sentencing?
I was in Allen County. I have a child in need of care case. The case is here, and I was on a case, 2 cases in Allen County, and I got my court dates written down on a piece of paper, and I was in Allen County Courthouse and was supposed to be in your courthouse. And I would have called, but my bondsman said, stay in good contact with me, lay low. They'll set another court date and I'll go with you to the court date and tell them that you've been in good contact with me and I'll reinstate your bond. So that's what I did. but the registration people in Allen County picked me up, and so here we are. But just if it's okay, Your Honor, I have 3 interviews with sober living houses on Sunday. Tom Taylor is willing to reinstate my bond if it pleases the court to consider it, and if not, I totally understand. But I do have interviews with Iris, Park, and Sunset in Lawrence, Kansas
Okay,
this Sunday.
Who's your bondsman?
Tom Taylor.
And who's he with?
It was A1 Assurity, but he just recently changed the name. His phone number is 620-213-2195, I believe.
And if I understood you correctly, he knew you had a failure to appear bench warrant and told you to stay low, and he would he was
going to take me to court himself and tell you guys that he was willing to reinstate my bond. And so that's what I did. You can call him, he'll tell you the truth. I mean, he's a good Christian man. He'll tell you. He's right, I promise.
Well, all right, we'll save that for another day. But there are laws about bond and how to respond when someone has a warrant. All right, so you have been convicted back in February of count 1 in this case, in this county. That was possession of methamphetamines. And part of your plea agreement, you had trafficking, contraband in a correctional facility and interference with the law enforcement. I believe were both dismissed. Is that right, Ms. Gillette? Maybe count 4, the paraphernalia also? Did I get that right? No, she pled to count 1 meth and count 4 paraphernalia.
That's correct, Judge. She pled to 2 counts. She was set for sentencing. She was supposed to be here for her sentencing on 2/9/23. She pled on 4/6. She was supposed to be here for sentencing, and Judge Hart set a no bond hold on her until he sees her for her sentencing.
Ms. Knock, did you work with Court Service Officer Sarah Wheeler and get your pre-sentence investigation completed?
It wasn't Sarah Wheeler. It was a man.
Okay, did you get it completed?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right, so what I need to do is reset this with Judge Hart for felony sentencing. And Missy, what date is that?
That will be June 29th at 9 o'clock.
June 29 at, you said 9 o'clock?
Make sure you guys hit that like button. My moderators are begging you to hit that like. It helps me out a lot, guys. A little press for you helps us out a lot. Thank you.
Yes, she was already set for a bond forfeiture, so they just converted it to the sentencing hearing.
That makes sense. All right, so Miss Canuck, is that in person?
Called her Canuck again.
Or do you know?
Mrs. Canuck?
I mean, she's going to have to be held in custody until then anyway, but. All right, so you'll be back before Judge Hart, June 29th at 9 a.m. for sentencing. You need to contact your attorney. Your attorney is Christopher Pate, and let him know that you're in custody and that you're awaiting sentencing. Make sure the court service department knows that you're available again in case they have any last minute matters. And maybe Missy, you can help with that. Let them know where she is. And if you'd also follow up with the attorney. I think that covers it. Ms. Gillette, anything further? What you're charged with, the next order of business is attorney. As I said, there's some mandatory must-serve jail in this. And if you can hire any attorney you want, or if you cannot afford one, you can apply and see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney. or you could waive your right.
Okay, we're gonna come back to Webster because that we could watch her forever. I have all right, so you know what? Yeah, let's keep watching Webster. No. All right, let's do this. Okay, here we go. All right. Little old school. Ready? Here it comes.
Robert Cooper. Robert Cooper. Brittany Schaefer. Brittany Schaefer. Marcus Davis. Marcus Davis.
Here we go. I think it changes like
Tiffany Ruiz.
3 more times. Oh.
Tiffany Ruiz.
Darkova, official nerd.
Ku Delacruz.
I'm here.
Thank you. And it looks like your name is correct. Thank you. Sarai Goodson.
How did they allow that?
I'm here.
It's too much.
Thank you, ma'am, and your name is also correct.
So stupid. It's funny.
Cherry Finch.
Todd Music on behalf of Sherry Finch.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Damon Backlit.
Backlit.
Backlick? Ugh.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And his name is correct also.
His name is correct. Damon Backlick.
Diego Antonio Garcia.
No, it's a cow.
Diego Antonio Garcia.
I'm such a... Oh, the raccoon.
Brianna Clayton.
All right. I had to. I'm sorry, guys.
Brianna Clayton.
All right. Let's get some Judge Washington.
Dustin Goodman.
Oh, wait. We got shirtless.
Present.
Shirtless in DeSanto. What is... Okay. Word's out that we're a thing. That's it. Word's out. People are hitting on her. Love notes, songs, poems, whatever they're writing to her, whatever's going on. Now this guy wants to show up shirtless. Bruh. Stay back. She don't like that though. He's too bro for her. She needs a manly man. She don't like a dude. All right, let's go.
I'm unmuted.
Okay, and you're also undressed, so you need to make sure you have a shirt on. You're in.
All right.
Get out,
I'm sorry.
Get out, and you should not be in bed either. And why are you on Zoom anyway?
Nailed.
Because they gave me the paper, told me to come on here.
Sir, you are to be in person today.
Uh-oh.
They told me my paper don't say no person, it says on Zoom.
If you are still in custody, it's on Zoom.
Don't lie.
Well, I asked the dude, he said it was on Zoom. I asked him when I
The dude,
walked out.
who's the dude?
The guy who gave me my paper.
Okay.
Well, I asked the dude, he said it was on Zoom. I asked him when I
The dude,
walked out.
who's the dude?
The guy who gave me my paper.
Okay. Can you hand me Mr. Gardner's file, please?
Yes, the dude.
All right, you're, just sit tight for a minute, just make sure you have a shirt on. All right,
Okay.
good morning, Deputy Pravanchi.
Wexler, it's raining
Oh, you're muted.
memberships. Grab them.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you and your staff?
The best crew in Law 2.
Okay, I have a total, very well, thank you. I got a total of 4 defendants for you today. Currently, I have Joseph DePrima, and then I have 3 en route to me as we speak. I'm gonna have a Autumn Bullshack.
Okay,
Then I got a Craig Culver. And then we're gonna have a Amy Stern. Now Stern and Bolshek are en route to me. They should be here in less
Okay. Are we all ready? We got over 200. We are going to what I was going to make the main event until I got to the Mike Page one. This is a TPO no. If you're not on Discord yet, please get there. Because we run to the certain court cases. And if you're a nerd and you're busy and you're doing a bunch of things and you can't scour the internet like us uber nerds, if you're in my Discord, they will tell you, go here, go there, go here. So the inner core of Time Served, we were sharing this one, and this one takes the cake. Oh my God. And it's not what you think. It's not like crazy people yelling and screaming. It's not a Manning. It is great. I can't even say what we were saying in the Discord on YouTube. So, here we go. And where is it? I built it up and I don't have it. Hold on. Okay.
So you filed this
Thank you,
petition
Chris.
At the beginning of the month. To the best of your knowledge, the respondent, Mr. O, is a DeKalb County resident. Is that correct?
Correct.
How long have you known Mr. O or known of him?
Since April 29th.
All right. And how did you first come into contact with Mr. O?
I work for Parks and Recreation Department. He attended one of the events.
Okay. And so this was an event that was open to the public?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened? Did anything notable happen during the event regarding Mr. O?
No.
Okay.
Just an introductory conversation.
All right. And what happened after that?
He proceeded to come into the recreation center where Parks and Rec is based out of every single day following, multiple times a day, despite being given the schedule of events and classes, both physical copy and online. And
they're throwing them out. Darkova's throwing them out. Oh my God. Get your memberships, people.
Came to my kickball game April 28th. Came to a Parks event the next day.
Oh, hang on one moment. When was the first day that you met him?
April 29th.
Okay, so you just said he came to a kickball game before you.
Sorry, that's would be. I'm sorry. The Spring Fling event was April 15th. The initial meeting was April 15th.
Spring Fling.
The kickball game was April 29th, and then the event following was the 20th. The kickball game was April 28th, and then the next day that I will be speaking of is the 29th, and then.
This is a G-rated TPO with A-rated stupidity. There you go. There it is.
And the first is when kind of it all.
Okay, so the location where you work has public events that are scheduled and announced. I'm inferring from this. Is that right?
Correct.
And what goes on so over the last 5 to 6 weeks, how often are those events?
We've had 2.
Okay, so for the vast majority of the days, there are no public events.
Correct.
And so the facility is open to the public if they have business to conduct with the Parks and Recreation Department. Is that right?
Correct. Things like senior aerobics or we have a hybrid homeschool program that would meet in the morning or the afternoon times, pottery, things of that nature.
So are there classes that are offered on site?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you have to sign up for those classes?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have to pay for those classes?
Usually those are, so it's both. There are some programs that are internal where you pay through us, and then there are some you pay through the instructors, pottery, et cetera, is it's an example of that one.
Okay. And so your first encounter with Mr. O was around the 15th of April. So from then until the end of the month, so a little over 2 weeks, how many days did you see Mr. O?
Every single day, weekday, Monday through Friday.
Okay. And you're typically you keep more traditional business hours?
I do. I work
The way
the,
you phrase
the
that?
I work the front desk Monday through Friday.
Okay. And so when Mr. O would come, what would he say that would he ever say what he wanted or what he was doing there?
He would say things like, "Oh, I just want to know what's going on today," even though he'd been the day previously, and he would understand, okay, well, we have senior aerobics right now, so there's really nothing to just pop in for. And this would happen over and over and over again every day, multiple times a day.
Okay, to what extent, and you may or may not know the answer to this, during these few weeks, were there other people that he was making contact with at the department?
Yes, there were a couple.
Okay.
We have, yeah.
So let me ask it this way. To what extent was it focused on you versus being spread around to other people?
Ooh.
I would say initially it was for whoever was sitting up there, but then it became more about our interactions.
Okay. And so it looks like that you filed your petition on the 2nd of May. So what happened across late April and the very beginning of May?
I would say the determining factor for me was I saw him that Friday night at my kickball game, which was just league play. It's not a spectator event. Then he came to a public event the very following day. Told me I looked like this video game character, was talking to me. Told me I was gorgeous. On Monday, Sunday we're closed. Monday he came in.
Okay. She said she looks like a video game character. Red flag. You're gorgeous. Red flag. No, she's okay. Every day. Red flag. I think he's more dangerous than any of those guys who are yelling and screaming and doing those things. He is a serial killer. Let's roll. What video game character? Poll time.
3 times. He took my business card from my business card holder, left, showed up at my house 30 minutes later, rang the doorbell and talked to my husband through our video camera.
Now, are you, sometimes I have to ask stupid questions and you're allowed to give me, I won't call it a stupid answer, but an obvious answer. Is your home address on your business card?
It is not.
Okay. And so I hope you understand why I deem that question what it is. I know that would be uncommon at best, but do you have any idea as to how he may have come to know your home address?
I don't.
Is your full name on your business card?
I go by Jess, so it's Jess Joyner Marshall rather than Jessica Joyner Marshall. But yeah, close
Okay.
enough.
I mean, it has a last name, I guess. Let's put it
Yes,
that way.
yes, it does.
All right. And so you were not there. Were you at work when he took the card and left and then went to the home?
Yes.
All right. Was there, did you submit a video of
I
this
did.
interaction?
I submitted the video of him on the porch. I think that was all that was captured.
All right. Madam Clerk, are we able to pull that up and screen share?
Oh,
Should be, I believe it's number 2.
El Creepo. What is he doing? Come
All
on.
right. And so do you know approximately when this video was taken?
If I can look at my phone, I can give you the exact time.
Just the date. So was this like April 30th, May 1st?
May 1st, that Monday.
Okay.
3:30, I believe.
Okay, so afternoon.
Yes.
And so, and your husband made contact with him through the it's not really security service doorbell, but the ring style doorbell system. He was able to communicate, and then to the best of your knowledge, Mr. O left.
Yes.
And when was the next time you saw him after that?
Well, I told my supervisor that he had come to my house, and so they called the police.
Okay, was
Um,
he told to stay away from you and your office as a result of that at all?
my work did a criminal trespass
Okay,
for this site,
and have
that
you
he was
seen
served with.
him, have you seen him at the office since then?
Not at the office.
Okay, have you seen him elsewhere since then?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I think it's exhibit number 3. On the 15th of May at 6:12, my neighbor texted my husband saying he saw him walking towards my house. And then number 4 is a picture of him across the street, not 100 yards away this past Saturday at 4:45 p.m.
All right, if we can see exhibit 4. And ma'am, just to make sure I'm on the same page, exhibit 3 is a text message from a neighbor. Is that
Yes,
correct?
that's correct.
All right. And so this was the picture. By whom was this picture taken?
My husband.
All right. And I see a small white dog in this picture, as I saw on the video. Have you seen him with that canine at other points along the way?
I have.
All right. And this may be a question you don't know the answer to. Were they, was Mr. O, do you know if he would drive to the facility, walk?
I believe he drives.
Okay. And would he also be likely to drive from the facility to your house if he was going from one to the other?
I believe so.
Okay. All right. And at any point, has he communicated any wishes, thoughts, plans, positive or negative, toward you about what his intentions are? or
So
what his
number,
intended
I don't know if
actions
sent it yesterday. He sent a message to the Parks and Rec Instagram. We can pull that up. If not, I can read it from my phone.
Madam
And
Clerk,
it doesn't
do you have
mention me
that?
by name, but it says something to the effect of, leave me alone, you leave me the fuck alone, you fucking pale-faced, blue-eyed devils, we can burn in hell, also fuck the cops or something along those lines. So no direct threat.
Is that a
Replay.
You fucking pale-faced, blue-eyed devils, we can burn in hell, also fuck the cops or something along those lines. So no direct threat.
Is that a private
That was
message?
yesterday.
Was that
Hmm?
was that a response to a post? Was it a private message? Something
That was
else?
my understanding is that it's a direct message to the Parks and Recreation Instagram.
Oh my God. He did it on the Parks and Rec Insta.
And I have the social media coordinator. If you need to speak with her, I can grab her. But that was yesterday.
Okay. We'll see if that's necessary in rebuttal. We'll review that. Okay. And just for the purposes of the record, I show a return of service dated May 6th, 2023, filed in with this court May 9th, 2023. So, I think those are all the preliminary questions I have. Sometimes we have to take turns or go back and forth. Mr. O, if there are questions that you think I should be asking this witness, you can
Oh,
suggest those
boy.
questions to me and I will consider asking them. Separate from that, you will absolutely have the opportunity to testify or offer evidence if you wish to do so, but that will come after. That does feel a little bit out of order to many people, but unfortunately, that's how this goes. Do you have any questions that you believe I should ask this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. I just think you should ask I'm sorry, I'm just, very anxious right now, but whether it was just if I just wanted to ask if you think that I knew that if this was her specific address, because this address just turned out to be in my neighborhood, and I'm sorry, you just said questions, right? I'm sorry,
Sure. Questions first. We'll do statements second. If you'd rather just move to statements, then we can do that, but I have to swear you in first.
Of course, if I knew that this specific house was your address, because I go to a lot of houses in that neighborhood because I live in that neighborhood, and whether or not I came to that kickball game because you were there, because you weren't on my mind at the time. I went there because my friends were there.
Well, she doesn't have a way to know what's on your mind.
Sorry,
so
I know,
She can't really
I'm,
answer that.
I apologize, Your Honor. I'm just thinking too much.
It's okay.
So his defense is his friends were at the kickball game. His friends were at the kickball game, and you definitely weren't on my mind. I was just at the rec center, at the park. You had nothing to do with it. You blue-eyed pale devil. Die.
So,
he's dangerous.
We've seen I'll go ahead. She's not really in a position to answer your question because she doesn't know where else you did or didn't go that day. So if you choose to testify, you can, but what she can only tell you is what she witnesses firsthand. It's against the rules for her to speculate. So what she saw was that you took her business card, you left, and then fairly soon after that, you were on the doorbell camera at her residence. So it's possible that you were a Girl Scout and it was cookie selling season and you were going door to door in the neighborhood to help a cousin or a sister or something. I don't know. But what she can do is testify to her part of the experience. If you choose to testify, you can testify to your part of the experience. And then to the extent those things conflict, it's the judge's job to decide who to believe and why. So do you have any other questions you think I should consider for this witness, or would you like to move on to the part where you testify?
I would just like to ask whether I made any threats or was physical in any way, or
voila.
I guess I really don't have any questions, honestly.
I can break those. I can break that down into a few questions. Did he ever convey any specific threats to you?
Brought to you by Mike.
Were there ever any statements that you took as menacing or harmful, or I guess veiled threats would be what I would say?
Yeah, definitely yesterday's message.
The Parks and Rec message that you're referencing. Okay.
Correct.
And has he ever had any kind of physical contact with you? I know he
has not.
In person. Okay. All right. Mr. O.
Yes, about the Instagram message, that was in response because the rec center Instagram page liked a few of my posts of my dogs, and I don't understand why, because this happened after I was verbally and horribly abused by the cops that they sent after me.
Okay, well, it sounds like we're ready for testimony, so we'll go ahead and have you. It's okay. You can raise your right hand for me.
I apologize, Your Honor.
No, you're doing well. Do you swear any statements you make to the court will be the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can put your hand down if you'd like. So as we move through this hearing, understand that the statements that are being made today are made under oath and they can be used in other court proceedings to whatever end. With that advisement, what would you like to tell us today, Mr. O?
Well, I just think that this whole situation is frankly insane to me, and I don't think I don't understand why Jesse or the rec center ever contacted me to meet with them so they could explain the whole situation to me, about my supposed misconduct, and just explain like mature, sane adults instead of sending the Gestapo after me, because it was pretty traumatizing encountering those police officers, and one of them in particular was incredibly hostile, aggressive, and was speaking to me in a very violent tone. It was clear that he wanted. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, and I just don't understand why they just immediately went to the cops. I was issued no warnings or whatever. They didn't want to talk to me about anything, or try to settle this, as sensibly as possible, because I
No.
like, sorry, go ahead, Your Honor.
Yeah, I can jump in here, and what I will tell you is this, Mr. O, what you're here for right now is a civil proceeding. It's not a criminal proceeding. And I can tell you that the standard practice in a circumstance where one party, whether that's a corporate entity, a government entity, or an individual, wants another party to stay away from a place, the way to do that is to involve the police to the extent that it needs to be documented and recorded. And it sounds like what happened here was that they took two steps. One, a trespass warning, which was documented and relayed by the police. And then two, the filing of this action, which is a civil action, not a criminal action, to further reinforce those preferences and those boundaries. And so, there's aggressive and there's assertive. This is not aggressive. They didn't have someone go kick your door in, because they don't do that for these types of for civil cases. But they also were very clear as to about what boundaries they wished to set. So,
Oh, April into May. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I met Jesse as she said, on April 15th, I think, at a public event at the park. She was just doing her thing. I was just going around with my dog, trying to take part in the event, just talking with people, um, talking with the Tucker residents about, because there's a bunch of whiteboards and they were asking people about ideas they could put for the community. And, I was just walking around trying to like enjoy myself.
He's hanging out with the white boys. He said white boys and hanging out. He had nothing to do with her. He just wants to make some friends. Oh, you know what, Judge? I'm really starting to feel for him now. No, she's a bitch. She's a bitch.
Trying to have a good time, just trying to get to know people, I guess, because, we moved into the area, in late 2019. This was
Who's
before the
we?
coronavirus pandemic, which was
So it looks like he's in a baby's room. He may have a family. Creep.
really horrible
Or
timing.
his mom's
So
basement.
we couldn't really talk with anyone for a long time. So, I thought it would be a good opportunity to get to try to know people in my community, or try to be more of a part of my community, because, I'm just usually always busy working, and, or going to work, or, doing other things. And yeah, I talked with Jesse, it's just a basic introduction, just a conversation, and she told me that I should go to the rec center, because I told her that I'd like to be more part of the community and find, hobbies and activities to do. So, and I talked with other people other than her, other people who worked at the rec center, not just her. So I thought I'd just come visit, like, I don't know if it was like the next day or whatever, but, eventually I did come visit the rec center at some point.
so across the last 2 weeks of April, how many times do you think you went there?
I think I tried to go there as often as I had free time, because, I wanted to find new hobbies and new things to do, or find new ways to meet people, or meet new friends, make new friends, if that was possible.
So did they give you a schedule of events?
They did, but it wasn't very detailed, the booklet that they gave me, and I tried using their online site, but it was just a mess to me personally. I don't know. I guess I just have a lot of things on my mind, so I just preferred going to the rec center just to ask about, events that are going on or going to happen, because I just feel it's easier for me personally. Because, I know that might seem weird to Jesse, but for me, I didn't think there was much of an issue there personally.
Okay, so as far as and so they have video that they say you were at the rec center, you left the rec center and then you were on her doorstep, you and your dog. And so what happened that day?
Yes, Your Honor. I was just going for a walk after I came home, and I usually like to visit my neighbors' homes just to, let them know that I'm in the neighborhood and that, they can feel a little safer when,
No.
since they know I'm around.
What?
So that way they don't feel off guard when they see me out there.
What is going on right now?
I just thought, that I had no idea that was her home. Like I didn't just visit that house. There were other houses that I, knocked on the door of or I went to. But I'm sorry that she got that impression from me, or I don't know, just the whole thing just seemed like a horrible inconvenience. I'm sorry, I don't know the word for it, like convenience or like it just seemed convenient, like, like a
So at what point did you learn her full name?
when the sheriff came to me with the court notice of hearing.
Now at that
I
point
was
you had already taken her business card, right?
yeah, but
Okay.
I didn't exactly read it. Well, actually,
Yeah, you rubbed
But
it
that
on
was
your
the same
nipples.
day you showed up at her house, correct?
yes, sir, but I didn't. Yes, Your Honor, but I did not know that that was her home.
Okay. And so give me one moment. I've lost my screen is cut out for a second.
I'm in awe
So
of this guy.
and then there was a photograph that was shown, screen shared earlier, that showed what was possibly you walking your dog at the same street. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, but if could I? It's Your Honor. Sorry, Your Honor.
You don't have to be fancy like that. It's fine, but just focus on the questions as best you can. So what was going on? I think it was the 15th was the testimony, that date that you were walking your dog again.
Well, I was just walking my dog on my part, but I had no idea this was her exact address until I actually read about it in the packet a few days ago. I don't know. The whole thing was just a misunderstanding or an inconvenience. Like I don't really know how to explain it exactly, but I didn't know this was her address exactly. Your Honor.
I'm speechless. For the first time, this Italian has nothing to say.
All right, give me one moment.
Oh,
I don't think the sheriff specified where the accuser's address was, so I never thought to ask because I didn't want to know because I didn't want to get myself into trouble or anything or like, possibly.
correct, Bernard. Correct. Definitely.
All right. Ma'am, are there any questions that I have not asked Mr. O that you think I need to ask Mr. O as part of this proceeding?
This poor woman. She's terrified. I'm sorry.
Ms. Joyner Marshall, did you have any other questions that you believe the court needs to ask?
What up, Kate?
I guess I don't understand why we're contesting it if it's something he didn't know about.
Well, that's his claim, but his I guess whether I find that testimony truthful and credible is for me to decide in determining whether or not he has intentionally committed acts of stalking. But that record by and large, I mean, you presented evidence prior to even filing the petition, that at least at the ex parte phase was sufficient to get the initial order. So, all right. Mr. O, did you have anyone else who you intended to have testify today?
No, sir. It's just me.
Okay. All right. Having heard from the witnesses, what will happen is essentially as follows.
He does have a tick.
I'll be 100% clear. I am not for a minute buying the story that you happen to pick up her business card, which would have contained her legal last name, and then coincidentally show up at her house later that same afternoon. Not even a little bit credible in the slightest. It's in a legal sense, I'm just not buying it, especially given the other pattern that was demonstrated leading up to that point. The excuses are flimsy to the point of being wholly unbelievable from start to finish. And it is a situation where I'm grateful you haven't made specific threats. That's certainly better than some cases that we have. But the behavior here is the type of following and surveillance and contact. The effort being put forward into making this contact is unusual in such a way that I think it's more than sufficient for the granting of this order. And so that is what I'm going to do. The conditions that will be in place will very much look like the conditions in the ex parte order, that he is to stay at least 100 yards away and have no contact of any kind. And that includes the petitioner's home. And so what I would say in that regard, I'm not sitting here with a ruler or a tape measure. I know you have a dog. I know that dogs need to be walked. I struggle to come up with a reason that that dog would need to be walked on that street. There is a park in the area. There are streets that go in other directions. And so that barrier, for all intents and purposes legally, is you can think of that as an impenetrable glass dome. And so you can take a detour, you can turn around, you can go somewhere else. Yes, Mr. O.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, you can finish before.
No, I want to make sure that we're all clear as to when we leave here what the expectations are. What did you have?
Well, I just wanted to note that the park next to me, I'm actually banned from that park now because of this limitation on my autonomy and freedom of movement. I'm not really allowed at a lot of these areas anymore. And I feel very boxed in and constrained personally.
Why is it that you think you're not allowed at that park?
It was on this list given to me by one of the officers at the rec center when they confronted me.
So that is a separate issue. So you have two different sets of rules that you have to abide by. So anywhere, it doesn't have to be listed twice. If it's on either list, you need to stay away. So what you were given is a list of trespass warnings in regards to DeKalb County property, I suspect, that include that DeKalb County park. That is a trespass warning, and violation of that would subject you to arrest for trespassing. What you are here for today, and the piece of this that I have control over, is an order that relates specifically to this petitioner and her family, and her home, her work, and her school, if applicable, and the same for her family, as well as any contact with her and her family directly, indirectly, or through third parties. So wherever she may be at a moment in time, you cannot be within 100 yards. So if you're at the Publix and she shows up at the Publix, it is incumbent upon you to head to the register and leave. That's how these orders work. And so by the same token, the penalties for these orders are tied up in the order themselves. And so this order runs automatically 12 months and will automatically expire May 22nd, 2024. And so those will be the terms that that will be imposed for that. And additionally, I will order as part of this, Mr. Ellis, we're going to have you speak to Mr. O when we wrap momentarily. There will be a psychological evaluation conducted and treatment as deemed necessary that the respondent is to comply with pursuant to this court order. And so those will be the terms that we will be operating under. I will get this order drafted today or tomorrow and entered into the court record and uploaded to the registry. The terms and conditions other than that last provision will by and large mirror the ex parte order as issued. Any other trespass warnings or directions given by any other entity, human, corporate, or governmental, they are unaffected by this case. So if they've told someone not to be somewhere, they can't be somewhere. If they've said don't make contact, there can't be any contact. And so that will be the plan moving forward, understanding that a violation of this order can constitute criminal charges, potentially including more serious felony charges. And so, that's circumstantial depending on the nature of the violation. So Miss Joyner Marshall, you are free to log off. And I thank you for your time today. Mr. O, we're going to place you in a breakout room. Mr. Ellis will have a few pieces of information to get.
I don't trust this guy at all. He is creep. Oh, I speechless. Didn't take onus for anything he did. Justified, and he felt he was the victim. Unbelievable. I feel that husband of hers better next time that guy, if that was my wife and that guy came to my doorstep, oh my God, this guy would have a TPO out on me. So I don't know what's going on with her husband, but someone's dropping the ball over there because that guy wouldn't bother this guy's wife. Sorry, just not happening. I'm not sitting here trying to be a tough guy, but it's just, it is what it is. Napoleon ain't going anywhere near my wife. Okay, we're going to get Washington, because you know I love a little rain, and then we will go to our main event. Let's get rocking and rolling. I love this consistent number. Let's get these numbers growing. I'm still a baby channel, man. My members that have been here for, 3 months. That's it. We're a baby channel. Rapidly approaching 10K. We'll be there by next week. And I will be live from the Jersey Shore this weekend. I'm doing a live from the beach. Here we go. We're opening up the vault. Here we go. Let's roll. This guy's so cool. All right, so we're looking at Mr. Bobby Smith here. Okay? He's just an honest dude. She gets good defendants. She doesn't get like scum. I could watch Judge Washington all day long. Okay.
We'll call the case of Drageri Smith, case number 20S00463, as well as 22S4109245.
Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Chinazi Kerry, I can really, Your Honor, on behalf of Drew Gary Smith. Mr. Smith, can you state your name for the record, please?
Drew Gary Smith.
Thank you. All right, we're here today for
No, bad back. I go to the good section of the Jersey Shore. You know where. I go to the good section. I'm not over by a snooky.
failure to pay. Mr. Smith, you was set up on a payment plan of paying $100 per month, but let's see, you've only made a payment
Blackface.
of
150.
Okay,
yeah.
here we go.
So what's going on, Mr. Smith?
Well, I'm being sued at the moment, and I don't know if they're done taking money right now, but I'll be able to put some more money back in on like the 3rd of next month. I wanted to ask
Are
a
you,
question.
are you sitting up, sir?
Oh, yes, I am.
Thank you. Um,
How you doing today, Your Honor?
I'm okay. I'm okay. What's the question you wanted to ask, Mr. Smith?
Is there any way I can do some public, what they call that, public service?
Community service?
Community service. Or I don't know, some jail time or something?
Well, the jail time, there's a way you can do jail time, but I don't think that's what you really want to do. What I'd like you to do is to fill.
He asked her to do jail time. Can I do some jail time? Look at the public defender.
Fill out a financial hardship form so I can see whether you qualify to do community service. Okay?
Like, why do I try? Why?
Miss Akiri Akinruli, can you help him to get that form, or do you want me to put him in with Mr. Hawthorne as someone who can give him the form?
Correct, Judge, yes.
All right, we'll put you with Mr. Hawthorne, who can help you to get the form so that you can fill that out and submit it to the court. Yes, Ms. McDuffie?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, before he goes, we have a pretrial for DWLS for him as well.
I love Miss
Oh, the
McDuffie
20,
too.
I thought that was yes, that is a pretrial. 22S4109245 is a pretrial, and he's still suspended.
That is correct, Judge. I'm not sure. Mr. Smith, do you know what needs to be done to get your license back reinstated?
Well, the people that are suing me, they have a hold on my license. That's why it's suspended. And if I can give them enough money, they'll lift the suspension so I can go to Secretary of State and get the license.
You know,
Gotcha.
I want my license so bad.
I love it.
So you're in a catch-22 situation. The court's trying to get money while they're trying to get money, and you don't have that much.
Right.
Gotcha. All right. I'm writing notes about that. Give me one moment.
Okay.
Gotta do some public service.
All
Just
right.
give me
So,
some jail time.
how much money do you need to pay before they'll lift the suspension, sir?
I think she's talking about 500.
Okay. So you
I've
have a
already
payment.
given them a few hundred, and they still haven't lifted. So I guess I got to set up
I think you have to set up a payment plan. You have a payment plan set up with them?
No.
I think you have to set up a payment.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. All right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna schedule this for August 29th, 2023 at 10 a.m. You can fill out the form and hopefully have paid them their 500 and got your license by then. Okay?
Okay.
And then you'll go into the breakout room with Mr. Hawthorne from the Public Defender's Office, and they can let you know about the hardship form to see if you qualify for that, okay?
Okay.
All right. You're all set, sir. We'll see you back here on August 29th.
Okay.
Take care.
All right. That was a feel good. That was a feel good, Washington. Here we go. Let's go, Mike Page. So, what happens when you call a motion because you want your child support reduced, but you don't have all your facts straight? You get whammied by not one, but two women in your life. Not yet, but it's coming. Let's roll. Mr. Conrad Whitney.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Right.
All right, we'll take up file 2013-52045, Sabrina Marino and Conrad Whitney, and both are here via Zoom. And this is the date and time set for hearing on Mr. Whitney's motion. Ms. Evans also here from friend of the court. Swear both parties in, both raise your right hands. You both swear or affirm any testimony given this cause to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Ma'am, did you say?
Wait. So, I missed that. Did he just correct his right hand and put up his left? Can we go back? You guys gonna get mad? No, it's my show. I'm gonna go it anyway. Here we go. Watch.
Raise your right hands. You both swear or affirm any testimony given this.
Is that his right hand? Wait. He self-corrected the wrong correct. Okay, I don't know.
This cause to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Ma'am, did you say yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And sir, what led you to file the motion?
So back when I was last, when my child support was last revised, I was making $18 an hour, and now I'm not making that. I'm making around 15 part-time. So I just wanted to get it revised because I was working full-time when I was getting 18.
Okay. And that was. And what, that was 2 years ago? About a year and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5
No,
years.
2-3 years ago.
All right. And where were you working then?
I was working for Dish.
Where are you working now?
Best Buy.
What led to you changing jobs to a lower paying job?
It was work from home. Dish was, and it was during COVID. And after COVID, I just really didn't want to sit in the house all day.
So you took a job making less money?
Yeah, 10 hours a day at my computer was not fun.
No.
So the last calculation from 2020, I show the income used that was put in was actually the minimum wage at that time, $9.65 for 40 hours a week.
Boom.
At that time, you reported $11.50 an hour, working 16 hours a week. So you were imputed.
Wait, when was that? I'm sorry.
In 2020.
That was at Meyer. But after Meyer.
Uniform child support order.
Yoink.
All right. I talked to somebody at front of the court when I got the job at Dish.
Mm-hmm.
And because that was the only time, like, normally I would just implement my, on the website, I would go to the, where it says add income withholdings, and I would implement it on the website. That was the only time I called somebody and actually told them about, like, where I was working over the phone, and it was at Dish. I don't know if that was implemented. I wasn't making minimum wage then. And
We
I know
don't,
that for
we don't
sure.
we don't adjust your support just because you change a job unless someone motions it in or it's time for a review.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So what do you want to do?
I don't know. I was just hoping to get it looked at.
I can look at it. I can guarantee it's not going to go down.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you're making $5 an hour more now than you were then. With the potential for having it run at a higher wage for a job that you voluntarily quit. It's your motion. You can withdraw it if you want, or we can crunch the numbers. It's up to you.
I can withdraw. It's okay.
All right. Now, I mean, the other party's on notice now that support would likely go up if it was reviewed, so she could file her own motion if she wishes, but you do have the right to withdraw the motion that you filed. So with that, I'll consider the motion withdrawn and the current order would remain in effect. All right.
Okay. Yep.
All right. We're all set for today.
He does have one more hearing at 2:30.
All right, I'll log
Next.
back in at 2:30 and find you.
All right.
All right, thank you. Ma'am, you understand what's going on?
Yeah, I do, but I actually didn't find out this hearing like through him. Like I know when you file a motion, you're supposed to send the paperwork.
Yep.
And I didn't get anything. I just randomly called yesterday and then they told me about it. So she told me to make sure that you knew about that.
We sent all the information. We sent it to Virginia as well. Virginia got hers. It was all sent out.
Said it was mailed on May 10th. He's withdrawing his motion anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I guess so. But is there anything I can do about, because she's 11 years old and he's never ever paid consistently her whole entire life. Like even when it was $100 a month.
Anything you can do to have
Yeah,
it
like
first?
yeah.
Yeah, sir, I see you are about 4,500 behind. Have you not been making your monthly payments?
I've been making as much as I could. I like with Best Buy, I actually enjoy this job. I've been picking up shifts regularly. I've been enjoying it. But I mean, been a busy few years.
Well, okay, it's $212 a month, and you paid $50 so far this month.
Oh.
Didn't pay anything in April. You paid about $50 in March, or wait, you made a couple payments in March. You met the obligation in March.
August of 2021 was the last time he paid the full support.
Oh.
The 226 plus some on arrears.
$226.
So a year and a half since you paid the full amount. You know what's going on? You quit a job making 18 an hour full time that enabled you to meet your obligations to take a lesser paying job. If you can still make ends meet, you know, I guess that's fine,
did,
even though I may
Sean.
not use that wage if I did run support in the future. However, if you can't meet your obligations, that was a poor decision.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
obviously-
I just started this job. So, I mean, I get paid next week. You guys, I got notice that income withholdings are going to be happening. It didn't happen with my first paycheck. So I sent out what I could because it was a small check. It was only 1 week's worth of pay.
But if you're making $18 an hour full time, why weren't you paying the $212 every month?
I set it up to where it would get withdrawals from my paycheck. I called the friend of the court. I set that up. They asked me where the headquarters for Dish was so they could send the paperwork. And
So Ms. Evan, those payments weren't made?
No, there's no, what was Dish under? Because I don't see an income withholding order for Dish ever.
I can't remember where Dish, I don't remember. I just know it was Dish Network. I called.
Is that Axiom?
I don't think so.
When was this? What year?
2020. It was 2021.
Ecosphere?
Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can find out what Dish is under.
There's Ecosphere, Wild Wild West Tobacco, and unemployment in 2021. We had Walgreens and in 22, Murphy Oil,
It must have been the one before the Wild Wild West.
Ecosphere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that went out in April of 21. And how long were you there?
A few months.
And that could be part of the problem because it takes time. If we don't get it to them quick, it can take 2 to 4 weeks before they even get it on their system.
I got no.
So you have a responsibility if it doesn't come out of your check to make sure it gets paid and to keep in touch and until it gets to that point where it's coming out like it should.
And that's what I did with this last check that I got from Best Buy. I sent as much as I could. Like I still have I have bills to pay and stuff, and I know I have an obligation to make those payments. I sent what I could.
Sure.
This is
So how many
great.
other bills are you $4,500 behind on?
Not any.
How many of those other bills, if you don't pay them, could end up with you going to jail?
None.
Okay, so you need to make this one a priority.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that much. It's based on minimum wage. You were making twice that for some period of time.
Mhm.
There's no excuse for not having made those
Uh,
payments.
Can I ask a question? You guys have is there any way you guys can look to make sure that the Best Buy is going to come out of the check?
We send it, it's up to your company to respond and take it out. So
I
it has
got
been sent but not accepted they haven't sent us a response.
okay. I got an email. It says ADP garnishment wage notice. I don't know if I can hold this up to the screen and you guys can see it.
Sure.
But it's a wage garment and it says Best Buy on it.
Okay. Does it tell you how much is gonna come out? Are you paid weekly, bi-weekly?
I'm paid bi-weekly.
So it looks like maybe bi-weekly, you should have 143.22 coming out.
Okay.
Is that what it tells you?
It doesn't say anything.
Oh,
Oh wait,
okay.
hold on. I can.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't say anything. I just got 2 of them because of obviously the 2 cases.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you'll just want to monitor that through your, I imagine you have an online where you can log into your ADP
Yeah.
and see. So if you don't see it coming out like it's supposed to, you need to make up the difference and probably
Okay.
contact your payroll and make sure
Yeah.
they don't need something. And if they do, you can call us.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So, all right. I guess we're all set for today. You need to make sure those payments are made. Do you have other income in the house that you rely on, in addition to your income?
Well, I have my wife's, but I'll pay like utilities. The utilities that are in my name, I'll pay. And then she pays the utilities that are in her name and she makes the mortgage payment of the house and yeah.
All right, well, you gotta understand,
What
I
a
don't care where the money
loser.
comes from.
Yeah.
If it's not paid, you're the one that's facing jail time.
Okay.
I know it's not her obligation legally, but if she works enough or makes enough that allows you to work part-time for $15 an hour, and you don't have enough to pay it on your own, then it's gotta come out of her money.
Right.
Unless she doesn't care if you go to jail or not, because,
Mhm.
I mean, that's the bottom line. You've been a poor payer, you're $4,500 behind on a $200 a month obligation. That's a lot of missed payments.
Mhm.
And if that continues, Ms. Heaven's on notice now that the matter be set for enforcement proceedings.
Okay.
That can not only result in potential jail time, but a contempt fine of $100. It can result in your license being suspended, your passports being suspended, things like that. All right,
But that's the enforcement's not going to happen, right? Because I have like right now, because I have the employment and payments are going to be coming through.
I don't think it's been initiated, doesn't sound like, but
No, I think you got a break because we've been short-staffed. So it's not been, and you've had an employer, so it's maybe been missed up until now.
yeah.
But like now that I've stated that like I got the income withholding notice, it's not going to be put into effect.
As long as we see your monthly support paid as it's supposed to.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
All right, and Ms.
you
Moreno, for your
got away with
benefit,
being a scumbag.
they have so many cases that in this type of case, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. If you call and say, I'm not getting payments, that moves your case up for enforcement proceedings, the show cause and things like that, okay?
Okay.
All right. And as I told you, just because I'm dismissing his motion today, doesn't mean you can't address support in your own motion.
Okay.
All right, we're all set for today. Sir, don't hang up. The other party in your other case is logged in, so we'll just start that one now.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Ms. Marino, you're all set, yeah.
Imagine 2 baby mamas in one hearing. Come on, man.
Oh, no.
Prophylactics.
All right, we'll take up file 2020-57342, Virginia Ball and Conrad Whitney, both are here. Matter was set for hearing on Mr. Whitney's motion regarding support. Sir, I know, because we just had a hearing, but Ms. Ball wasn't here for that hearing. What led you to file the motion?
Just change in wage, but we've from the other hearing we established that it doesn't doesn't really add up to what I'm wanting. But unlike my previous case, have a consistent relationship with my daughter, and we're getting her on the regular. Me and Miss Ball have an out of the court arrangement where I get her for my time and stuff.
All right, well, let's not skip ahead here. Ms. Heaven, what was support based on last time? It was run at a different time, so maybe it was based on different income. I don't know.
It was, there was a December 16th, 2020 hearing. $13.25 an hour times 40 hours was used for Mr. Whitney.
All right, and the support is currently three something a month?
Support is $371.
All right. So, sir, a different income was used at that time. The motion, or it came up for hearing at a different time anyway, so you had income when this case came up for a review or motion that you didn't have, I guess, when the last one did, even though it was just a few months apart. Are you still interested in pursuing your motion then at this time?
I would like it.
Now.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I mean, you're making more now per hour, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we can just withdraw it.
All right, so support would remain as is. Ms. Ball, you're here for this matter. Do you have anything you wanted to address? Mr. Whitney, I think, thought that higher income was used when his obligations were run back in 2021. Requested to withdraw the motion, which means support would remain as is, okay?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, sounds good then. Support would remain as is, motion to be dismissed.
Good old losers. Guys, it's been great. Just what I told you, I will be live this weekend from the Jersey Shore, from the nice spots of the Jersey, the family place. I'm not taking you on the boardwalk. We're just probably from the shore house or whatever, just chilling. But I will be live, probably on StreamYard. But I will be live tomorrow. And thank you, Rita, for the dono, the goodbye dono. Thank you, everybody who donated. Thank you, everybody who watches. Thank you, everybody who supports this channel in any way. I love you. Don't go to bed angry. God bless everybody. Just remember, I am time, and you must go watch Kitchen Court Cases coming up next. Oh, and you have been what? Huh? Sir.